Okay, so this is balance 1.5, and I'm calling it 1.5 because we're going a little bit beyond what we did last time. Specifically, I'm going to show you 3 different yoga poses. The yoga poses, if you do the full pose, are pretty difficult, and I would put that, if I were just having everybody do that, I would put it at a level 2, 3 or something like that. But I'm giving you a lot of alternate ways to do these poses that I think will be accessible to everybody. So that's the plan. The importance of balance, I cannot stress enough. Seniors, one of the main reasons, big reason that seniors end up in the emergency room is with falls. And if you have better balance, you're going to have fewer falls. And the emergency room is the absolute last place that we want to be right now. So really, really important to work on your balance. And it's something that you can do a little bit of every day. So having said that, let's start by kind of waking up our feet. Last time in the last class, we woke up our feet with a little ball and rolled on it. Now, this one will require you being able to reach your feet. So I would say this is one way to do it. Or if you want to sit on your chair, you can sit on your chair. But you're going to want to actually get to one of your feet. So let's start with your left foot, just for kicks. And then you're going to massage your foot. I'm going to go this way. You're going to massage your foot. And you can start on the arch part, and you can kind of massage down the arch from toe to heel. Just kind of pet your foot a little bit. If you find a place that's a little bit sore, you can continue there. Should feel, I don't know, to me it's a comfortable, but there's a few hurty spots. You can also go on the outside of your foot, and there I have a couple definitely sore spots. And you can go across the ball of your foot. And as you do this, you can also kind of move the bones in your foot. There's 26 bones in each foot. It's a very dynamic thing. And then we put it in these little, often too small shoes, and they don't get to move. So this is a way to actually loosen things up, move the bones. And then that place where the plantar fascia connects to the heel, that's really important. Right in there, massage that area too. And move your foot around, move your ankle around. Should feel good. Okay, now here's one. Take your hand and weave your fingers between each toe. This one might be a little bit of a challenge for some people. So I've got my fingers between toes. And then you can just kind of move your toes back and forth, extending them, flexing them. Oh, yeah. And kind of around in circles. And just give a tug on each toe. Okay. Now just notice, how does one foot feel compared to the other one? How's that left foot feel compared to the right?
Oops.
Different for me. Okay, let's go to the other one. So, you're going to first go from your toes to your heel along the arch. And then on the outside, same thing. We don't give our feet enough attention. We expect them to do a lot. They hold us up all day. Across the ball of the foot, right at the front of the heel. Move your ankle around a little bit. Okay, take your fingers, weave them through your toes. This is my funky toe foot, so it's harder. Okay, and then, a little bit around and around if you can. Get those toes moving. Now, I'm going to do this. Let's see. So this is a really nice movement.
Okay. And I gotta finish this.
And we'll unmute you.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, I'm going to mute. Okay. All right, here we go. So bring your toes back towards your body. Flex your ankles, bring your toes back towards your body, and try to separate your toes as much as you can. I'm not super good at it, but that's what you want to do. And then you're going to point your toes and squeeze them down. So we go from here, separate your toes. Now on the way back, think of seaweed. Your toes stay back and then they go forward. So the toes are the last things to move. And same thing going the other direction. Keep your toes pointed. They're the last things to move. Separate your toes. Same thing. So you're thinking about seaweed is a good analogy for me. Kind of looks like seaweed in the water. And if your feet cramp, it means you probably need to do this more. And my feet are cramping. Okay. And then just give your feet a shake. Okay. We're ready to stand up. So everybody stand up. Okay, that's probably going to work. All right, so starting feet about hip width apart, parallel to each other, and separate your toes. Lift up your toes and separate them and drop them back down. And then you remember that those 3 points that we talked about last time. The ball of the foot where your big toe is, the ball of the foot at the little toe side, and your heel. That makes a triangle. Feel the weight at each of those points, kind of pretty much equal. And just drop into that. Really feel your feet on the floor. That's really nice. And then think about your posture. You want to bring your belly button in towards your spine a little bit. And you don't want a big tucked pelvis. You don't want a big arch. You don't want a big tucked pelvis or an arch. You want somewhere in between. You want that neutral spine. But bringing your belly button in towards your spine. Drop your shoulder blades down and back. That's a good posture for you. Okay, but now we're going to make it a little bit harder. I wanted to talk a little bit about what you can do to change the difficulty of the balance. And this is just all in general, anytime you're thinking about balance work. There's 3 things that we can change. Number 1 is the base of support. And we talked about this last time. If your feet are wider apart, you're going to be a lot more solid, a lot more stable than if your feet are close together. So you can have wide feet, you can have narrow feet. You can also have tandem feet. That makes it more difficult too. So each time you narrow the base of support, it gets harder and harder. Next way you narrow the base of support is 1 foot. And then the final way you can change the base of support is to have something unstable that you're stepping on. So something like that, where it's very unstable. That's going to make it harder. So if you think, oh, this is too easy, you can make it harder at any time. You can make it challenging wherever you are. Number 2 is what are your eyes doing? The easiest thing that you can do is to look straight ahead, kind of just a little bit below the horizon, and find a point that's not moving. Don't look at someone who's moving. Don't look at your cat. Look at a spot on the wall or something and keep your eyes glued to that. That's going to help your balance a lot. And then on the other end of that, if you start moving your eyes, tracking your eyes from side to side or up and down, then that's going to be harder. And thirdly, if you close your eyes, obviously that's going to be harder. The other thing that you can change to make harder or easier is what's the rest of your body doing? If you start moving your arms around, if you start moving your head, looking one way or another, that's going to change. That's going to make it harder. Also, if you bend your knees, that's going to make it harder if you start moving your lower body too. Okay, so let's get started. So bring your feet together. Okay, and just kind of feel the balance, feel that triangle on each foot. And first of all, just kind of move your legs around. Don't move your feet, just move your legs forward, back. Find the place where if you go too far, you're gonna have to step forward. Find the place where if you go too far back, be careful about that one. And side to side. Just get a sense of that balance. Okay, and then let's do a little bit of head movement. So this time you're going to look straight ahead and then turn your head all the way to the left and back to center. Turn your head to the right and back to center. Look up, back to center, look down, back to center. So that ups it a little bit. It might be pretty easy for you. It might be a little bit of a challenge. And then let's just do some arm movements. You can do, and again, this is good for your range of motion anyway. You can do different movements. Just move around. You can do some twisting, gentle twisting. But keep your feet on the ground. Keep that base of support. Okay, and then just real quick, you can keep moving your arms if you want more of a challenge, or you can close, and let's close our eyes, see how that feels. And you can close your eyes and kind of move around a little bit, not your feet, but just your body, forward and backward just a little bit. See how that changes your balance. All right, let's do up the ante a little bit. So this time, let's have you put your left foot in front of your right. And for me, that just changes it hugely. From 2 feet close together to this tandem stand, it's a lot tougher for me. So what do we want to do here? Let's track our eyes. So this time we're losing that looking at one spot. So look not with your head, but just with your eyes. Move your eyes all the way to the left, back to center, to the right, back to center, up, center, down. Okay. And if you want to, and note, have that chair there in case you do lose your balance, close your eyes. And if you want to move your arms a little bit, move your arms. Woohoo! Okay. All right. Back to feet together, and then let's do the other side. So now put your right foot in front of your left. We'll do the same things. So let's, first of all, kind of get a sense there. I'll move my chair here too. So a chair or a wall close by is always good. And now let's track the eyes. So look all the way to the right, all the way to the left. I know you don't see my head, but I am doing this with you. Look up and look down. And then close your eyes. I'm shaking. Those little muscles in my feet are working hard. Okay, good. Okay, so now if you have a block, this is great. If you have a block, you're going to put one foot on it. So I'm going to show this. If you don't have a block, you can simply do a single leg stand. But by standing on a block, it somehow for me ups the ante a little bit and also really makes me aware of what's happening with my hip. So right here, the tendency is to do that. That I don't want. I want my hips to be equal. So I'm really bringing that left hip in, like so. And now my other foot is just kind of dangling. And now keeping that hip in, really important. Feel that muscle engage. You can go back and forth. Now, if you're on the ground, you can go back and forth too. You can do exactly the same thing, but it's a freeing to do it on the block. It feels good. So notice that's not happening. As soon as that happens, you're done. your muscles are too tired, you're done. You can go back and forth, side to side too. Good. And then try the other side. So stand on that block. Feel those 3 points, that triangle. And you don't want that. You want this. I look crooked. I am. Back and forth. And of course, you know, moving your arms around, closing your eyes. But keep all of your core engaged while you do this. Keep that in, side to side. Cool. All right. So, as you know now, you can make things a lot more difficult. You can obviously close your eyes. You can do a tandem walk rather than just standing still. So there's a lot of things that you can do. What we're going to do next is we're going to move on to some yoga poses. So we're going to do tree pose, we're going to do hand to toe, and we're going to do eagle pose. But I'm going to show you a lot of variations for each one. So tree pose, I'm going to show you, first I'll show you the full pose. So it's foot as high up into your groin, just watch for now, right there. And then one of the most important things with tree pose is pushing your leg into your foot and your foot into your leg. So you're doing both, you're kind of squeezing together. And then the arm position is here, or grow your branches, make your leaves, sway, and come out. Oh, and I happened to pull my little yoga cat card yesterday, and I happened to get tree pose, which is, I don't know if you can see this, but it's a little cat doing a tree pose. And the statement on the bottom is, which I think is perfect, sway like a tall tree, but land on your feet like a savvy cat. I like that right now. Okay, so that's the full pose, but there are alternate positions. Foot position. One is simply to take your, the moving foot, take your, in this case we'll say left foot, and just put it right there. So my toes are on the ground and my heel is kind of leaning into my shin. That's number one. Another option is just bring it up a little bit. You don't want your foot on your knee, you want it to be up below your knee, like so. Or, third variation, above your knee, like so. Okay, so that's the foot position. So, choose one that feels most comfortable for you, and let's try it. So I'll just walk you through it. So, feel that weight on your right foot. And then choose one of those positions. Have your chair here, so something to balance on. Choose one of those positions. I'll do this one. And remember now, in this position, push your leg into your foot and your foot into your leg. And then start hands in prayer pose if you can. If you can't, hold on to the chair then. And then if you want to, raise your arms up, growing branches, leaves shaking, tree swaying, and falling. Sometimes that happens, and that's okay. That's part of balance practice. Okay, let's try the other side. So again, choose your which one you want to do. Here, all the way up. Okay. So push your leg into your foot and your foot into your leg. And then start in prayer pose if you can. And I am looking at one point. I'm not moving my eyes at all. Raise up. Little leaves. Little swaying in the wind. And come down. Cool. Good. Move your hips around. And remember, the whole time, Your core is engaged. Your belly button is towards your spine. That's really important. Okay, hand to toe pose. This is a tough one for me. I'm going to show you the final pose, but then I'll show you a pretty easy variation. So hand, toe. Grab your toe. This is called with your peace fingers. And leg straight. And then leg out to the side. And then back. Then you are going to drop. I'm going to let go of my foot, but I'm going to keep my leg up as high as I can. That really works the hip flexors and the quads. I always get a cramp in my quads. Okay, so that's the final pose. But there's other ways. This is a pretty accessible one for almost everybody. And that is instead of holding onto your foot, you're going to hold onto your knee. So you just bring your leg up like this. And then you're going to go out and back in and hold. So that's probably what most of you will do. The other choice, if you want to try it and you have a strap, is to, instead of holding your toe, you can straighten your leg and hold your foot. But I would say for pretty much everybody who I'm seeing, I think probably that first pose, the one that with the knee is a good one to start. So have your chair close. Let's start by putting weight on your right foot. And then lift up your left leg, hold on to your knee. Okay, that's good. And then, very nice. And then, all the way to the side as much as you can. And again, you're looking at keeping that hip in. You don't want that to happen. Bring it back to center. You can take your hand away, but you can keep your knee up. Good. And then drop it down. Looking good. Looking like some good balancers here. Okay, let's try the other side. So this time, really ground your left foot, separate your toes as much as you can. Lift your right leg off the ground. Lift up. I'll do this. Hold on to your knee or your foot or your strap around your foot. And then out to the side. Back to center. And hold. I always get a cramp in my quad when I do that. Okay. Good. How's everybody feeling? Thumbs up? Okay, good. All right, and finally, eagle pose or Garudasana. And I love this pose because a lot of yoga poses, the names don't make any sense at all to me. But this one I love because I can just see an eagle on a wire looking for a little mouse while I'm doing it. So we're going to do the legs first and then the arms, and we'll put it all together. So first, just pay attention. There's 3 different leg positions. One of them, you'll need a block or something to put on your standing leg, on the outside of your standing leg. And so this is the first leg position. Simply take your left foot and put it across your right and just put your toes on the block. That's a pretty good position. You can bend your knees a little bit. The next one is you're going to cross your legs higher up. So you're going to cross your legs really high, and it's going to look something like that. And then you're going to bend your knees a little bit. And then the third one, if it's accessible, you cross your legs really high and you scrunch that little toe to the other side, like so. And then bend down. Those are your 3 foot options, leg options. Arms, if you, so start with one hand, one arm like this, and then you're gonna swing the other arm underneath, and you're gonna clasp as much as you can. It might look something like that. I happen to have long arms, so I can do that a little bit easier. But that's going to be your hand position. Okay, So now, follow my lead. I'm going to try to keep my rights and my lefts. I'm mirroring you. So listen to my words, and you're just going to do what it looks like I'm doing. So first of all, plant your right foot solid, toes apart. Feel that triangle. Lift up your left foot, and choose that position of your legs. I'm not sure if I can show my whole body here. But so it's either going to be on a block or a little bit of a wrap or a full wrap. And then bend your knees a little bit. Okay, and now take your right hand in this position, left hand underneath and clasp. And then imagine yourself an eagle, but a wire, looking at that little mouse. Mouse. And then come out as gracefully as you came in. Good. Let's try the other side. So if you're using a block, move it over. Ground your left foot. Cross over either just onto the block, bend your knees a little bit, or a bigger cross. Bend your knees, wrap if you can, and then you're going to take your, that's left. You're going to take your left arm like so, and wrap your right underneath. And sit down. Good. And then come back up. And gracefully come out. Excellent. That looks good. That looks excellent. That's it. It completes my Balance 1.5 class. And I'm going to unmute you guys. And if